Hey friends, today I'm peeling back the curtain on my personal study and note-taking system. It's a digital approach that uses technology to make complex learning in cybersecurity much easier. It helps me to understand the concepts more efficient and effectively. So let's dive into how I use my iPad, Goodnotes 5, Collanote, Apple Notes, and more to master learning in this ever-evolving field. Firstly, let's start with the digital setup. So in my digital toolkit, I of course have the iPad as the centerpiece of my study setup. Literally, this is the thing I live by. Of course, I pair this together with the Apple Pencil. That helps me to take precision writing digital notes, and then also paired with the Logitech Combo Touch keyboard for when I need to type out longer notes. The apps I swear by is Goodnotes 5 and Collanote for in-depth note-taking, along with Apple Notes for quick references and scribbles. What I also use quite a lot is Notion, but I'm not going to dive too deep into that. Let me know if you want to see an additional video on how I use Notion. Now, my approach to taking notes is systematic. So first, it's about reviewing and reading all of the material. So this means actively pulling out the key details. And while doing this, I actually listen to the audio version of the text. So my browser reading to me, this reinforces the information. So this dual input method is actually proven to enhance comprehensive and essentially with technical content that helps a lot. So after that, I watch any related video lessons that there are out there. But here's the twist. I only write down information that strikes me and that's impactful in the lesson, and I write it down afterwards. So just stick with me here, it will all start to make sense soon. Once I've gathered all of this information, I actually structure my notes topic-wise. So I use a 2-column approach in my note-taking method, which is more than just an aesthetic choice. So research shows that structured note-taking helps with better information retention and understanding. This format also allows me to review more information at once, so I use different colors to highlight various levels of importance of the information. This is a study technique that's known to enhance memory recall. Now, after I've done this, the final step in my note-taking process is actually to clean up each section and make sure that I can explain the notes and the concepts that I have learned to someone else. This is based on the Feynman Technique. It's a powerful learning method where teaching a concept is the best test of understanding it. So by organizing my notes to teach it to someone else, I ensure that I've truly grasped the concepts and that I can actually relay what I'm studying, meaning that I understand what I've studied. Now, let's take a closer look into the equipment itself. So I use the iPad mainly for its portability. This means that I can study anywhere. The Apple Pencil is for precision diagrams and note-taking so that I can actually see my notes that I'm writing down on the iPad. Now, the keyboard is a complete game changer for me because when there's longer note-taking sessions, then I can just type out these notes, and that's where Notion really comes in. Then, of course, I use Goodnotes 5. Goodnotes 5 has been a game changer. I think I'm a pro by now at using Goodnotes 5, so if you want a tutorial on how I use Goodnotes 5, do let me know. One of the game changers in my setup has been my paper-like screen protector. I rave about this thing. I talk about it so much, but it's basically, it makes writing on the iPad feel like a paper. And so therefore I can write faster and I can write with a lot more accuracy. And that's really kind of cool. Without the paper-like screen protector, I don't think that I would be able to write as much, because before this I had like a shiny screen protector and that really didn't help in precision of taking notes, in the neatness of how I take notes, and you get it. So definitely, if you're on the journey to taking notes on your iPad and digital notes, I highly recommend the paper-like screen protector. Then finally, let's dive a little more into Goodnotes 5. I mean, Goodnotes 5 is like as intuitive as having like a physical notebook. You can literally create a notebook for every subject that you are studying, and you can take tailored notes into those subjects. I have one for cloud security. I use it all the time. I branch out on it, or I create kind of different offsets. out of that notebook. But like I said, if you want a full tutorial, do let me know and I'm happy to organize that for you. Cybersecurity is a continuous learning journey. So I really encourage you to experiment and find what works for you. These are the strategies that have worked for me. These are the tools that I have found has been most effective in helping me digitize my learning journey. Like, I don't have that much time, so I need to learn out and about on the go. And this note-taking process and the note-taking setup that I have has really come a long way in helping me on this journey. So to recap, firstly, the right setup is important. If it's pen and paper for you, it's pen and paper, that works, and that's totally fine. Next up is the right study method. For me, it is first diving through the reading content, and then also while I'm diving through the reading content, I'm reading it, but I'm also listening to the browser read it to me in my ears. And that's kind of doubling up on how I'm able to consume the information and save time in consuming the information. Thirdly, then at that point only, once I already have a ton of information in my head about the subject or the topic that I'm learning, I then go and I watch any video content. While I'm watching the video content, I do not actually write anything down. After the video lesson, I sit there and I make a bunch of notes on things that have stood out for me, things that I can recall, etc. This active recall method really helps enhance the study journey. And then finally, I go and I structure my notes into a 2-column setup. I clean up my notes and I relay and explain these notes to someone else to make sure that I understand these concepts. All right, friends, many of you have been interested in the journey of how I take notes and how I'm able to gain multiple certifications while still retaining the knowledge, etc. Now, while I do not ever suggest that you try and gain a certification in a lower amount of time than what it takes you to actually study and grasp the concepts and gain the skills that you need, this method can help those of you who are struggling to recall the information that you've learned or struggling to actually explain it to someone else who's struggling to understand the concepts, etc. So this is one of the most highly requested videos that I have had. I hope that it helps you out. For any of you that's going to start your learning journey as we progress into 2024, let me know down in the comments if you want to see any other tutorials about how I use Notion, how I use Goodnotes. I am happy to share this with you in upcoming videos. But that is it for this video. I hope that you found it helpful and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.